Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Pull Chapter 4, titled Conference Day 1. You wanted to impress those at the conference, and thus chose an outfit that was befitting for a young teacher, something professional yet fresh, as you smoothed the blouse down before tucking it into your pants or skirt. I'm up against the best here, so I need to stand out as much as possible, you thought as you applied a little makeup for extra effect. After fixing yourself up, you walked back out of the bathroom to your bag and pulled out your papers and resume, then walked to the door. Okay, here we go, you thought as you put on a brave face, took a deep breath in, and headed for the lobby to make your way to the conference for that day. You double-checked the address on the piece of paper again and looked up at the very, very nice-looking hotel that the conference was being held at, closing one eye as you tilted your head back to get the whole place in view. Yep, this is it, you thought as you walked to the front door. Please, miss, allow me, a strong masculine voice said as a hand shot out from nowhere and opened the door for you. Oh, thank you, sir, you said in a slightly startled voice as you jumped, not expecting someone to be right there. He smiled and ushered you through the large doors before stepping in behind you. You look very beautifully dressed up, he commented, looking you up and down from behind. Oh, thank you, you replied hesitantly as you glanced back at him. What are you doing later? Why don't you come up to my room here? He asked with a sly grin. No, thanks. Oh, come on, he cajoled, looking at your hips again before licking his bottom lip. We'll have a good time together, trust me. No, you said sternly, a frown creasing your features as you took a step to go. Come on, he said just as sternly as you had replied him, reaching out and grabbing your wrist to stop you from leaving. Stop being so uptight. Excuse me, you replied with indignation as you stretched your hand out to give him a good slap. But before you could exact some discipline to this wayward player, someone else beat you to it, a hand coming down sharply on the man's wrist in a way that made him let you go immediately. Get your objectification away from this woman, a tired voice said bluntly. Aizawa, you said with surprise when you recognised him. What are you doing here? He looked very professional, unlike his usual get-up. He was in a black suit with a white button-up shirt and his hair tied back in a bun, showing off his killer jawline. Holy mother of all might, you gasped internally as you stared at him. He scrubs up well. He looked at you and jerked his head. Hurry up, we'll be late, he said strictly as he gave the guy one last dirty look before walking past you in the direction of the conference room. You meekly followed behind him, refusing to look back at the guy who had tried to make a pass at you as you headed for the conference. Aizawa didn't say anything to you as you both got to the welcome desk and signed in, then took your name badges and lanyards that had a small itinerary printed on the back of it. Is he attending this conference? Is he a teacher? What a mind blow. Wonder where he works, you thought, watching him stroll off down the hallway. Because you were both early, you decided to have a look at the stalls that were set up and made a straight line for UA stand. Good morning, a small mouse-looking chimera creature greeted you, and you recognised him instantly as the principal of UA High School. Oh, Mr. Nezu, it's a pleasure to meet you, you said brightly, bowing politely before straightening. You know who I am? He asked with surprise. Of course, sir, I would very much like to teach at UA, so I know who you are and I know the values that you hold for your students, you said professionally. My, he said with a smile. Well, what is your name? Yin Lin, sir, you said politely. I am newly graduated, but I have all the qualifications necessary for guiding the next generation of heroes, you said, regurgitating the lines that you had practiced so often in front of the mirror. I see, he said with a twinkle of excitement in his eye. May I see your resume? Do you have it here? Yes, indeed, sir, you said, quickly handing over the resume in your hand. Wonderful, he said as he reached out his little hands and took the wad of papers from you. Are you familiar with our teaching staff? He asked as he flicked through the first page. No, sir, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm a team player and work well with anyone, you said proudly. Oh yes, mother trucker, nailed that one, you praised internally as you smiled up big. I like your attitude, Principal Nezu said as he continued flicking through your resume. We've been considering an assistant teacher role as of late for our latest class, Class 1A. They're a very lively bunch of students and their current homeroom teacher could probably do with a bit of help. I see, you said, paying him your full attention. Well, I'd be most grateful to be given the opportunity. Principal Nezu nodded and smiled at you. Thank you for your resume. I'll be in touch, he said with another smile, placing your papers under the desk that he was at. Just then the announcer called for everyone to enter the main auditorium, and you followed the crowds of people into the room, suddenly wondering where Aizawa had gone. I honestly did not peg him as the teacher type, you thought, taking a seat next to someone. Just then, the Aizawa in question took to the stage for the opening remarks, and your jaw dropped. "Please, quiet down, we haven't got all day," he said in a strongly passionate yet monotone voice as he leaned into the speaker, the microphone squealing slightly as the sound desk scrambled to get the volume and pitch right. He gave a short introduction about what would be covered for the conference that day, then excused himself and sat down in one of the chairs behind the podium. He's actually quite good looking, you thought as you checked him out from halfway back in the crowd. You thought you were being slick, but as you looked him over, his eyes found yours and you quickly looked away, making it very obvious that you had been staring at him. And there ends Chapter 4. Stay tuned for Chapter 5 coming tomorrow.